Well, what's ahead for our economy here in the U.S.? Will we enter a recession? That debate goes on. Will oil prices drop sharply or go higher? Or should the government step in again? Scott Minard, Chief Investment Officer for Guggenheim Partners. We caught up with him on the road. He's in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. And I was reading your notes, Scott, about you have a big concern about another crisis in China. Tell me what that's about.
Well, as we've all been reading in the paper, the Chinese economy is expanding rapidly. There's been a lot of talk about the peg of the RMB against the U.S. dollar. And that's having an adverse effect on their internal policies. Inflation there is starting to accelerate dramatically. And the policymakers, I think, would like to address that. But they face this unusual event of having the Olympics. So right now, I think that the policymakers in China are doing what they can to hold things together. But after the Olympics, I think that they will abruptly revalue their currency. That will probably lead to a slowdown in their domestic economy. And it has some pretty big ramifications for us.
Well, and the other buzz that we hear about China after the Olympics is that maybe they will slow down or reduce the amount of subsidies that they give for energy, which you would presume would drive down the use of energy, which would maybe drive down prices. Agree?
Well, I would agree with that. I would also think that with the revaluation of their currency, where there would be a pretty significant appreciation, maybe 20 or 30%, that the exports in China will lose momentum because of the appreciation of the currency, which would reduce the demand for energy internally. And that would have a pretty big impact on oil prices. I think we could get oil prices in the fourth quarter down to $100 a barrel.
All right. If so, that should help a lot. Government wants to step in the U.S. They keep talking. They haven't done much yet. Are you for the government intervention in the U.S. economy?
Well, I'm really classically not in favor of a lot of government intervention, but the situation right now is so severe and so serious in the financial system that I think that the policymakers in Washington need to do something just to avoid having the economy enter a recession in the fourth quarter. The most important element to getting us through this period of financial crisis is to keep the economy moving forward and not allow it to enter a recession. We got the numbers last night from American Express. We see the credit problem now starting to cascade into other sectors. And if the economy were to slip into a recession, I think that we would have an extremely rapid acceleration in defaults on mortgages and probably another major downdraft for the financial system.
All right. Got the seatbelt tight. Thanks, Scott Minard, Guggenheim Partners on the road in the Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Thanks, Scott. Well, a short time ago, Treasury Secretary Paulson wrapped up a speech focused